think it's working.
I mean, did I get more time for interpreters to answer my question? No. I got nothing. I had to be very patient. It was hard for me to not emphasize I needed these things and access and communication, and part of hearing people, our lifestyles worked a little different, but they weren't understanding. So for myself, I had to be very patient and work with the system as it was. So having that experience with discrimination, that overt discrimination has really left an impact on me. That's a picture of myself a few years ago, and that's with my friends that were the interpreters for my experience in the pageants. So now I'm going to move on to my experience in Wisconsin. 4 years ago. Yeah, I'd say about 4 this happened. This is how I felt my discrimination with interpreters was. With one interpreter. So I needed to go to the ER, so the emergency room, and I was pregnant with my first child, Malika. So when I had to go to the ER, I was in another medical setting, and I had to go there. The medical interpreter had to leave because they had a different assignment. So I had to be switched to a different interpreter. And this interpreter was not trained. It was not appropriate for them to have been here. Their clothing was unprofessional. See, you guys are all dressed appropriately for this situation. Good. This person was not. I just couldn't believe they showed up that way. Their entire appearance was offensive. And I feel like, how do you come, especially to a doctor's setting, if you don't look professional, you don't have the right attire, it reflects poorly on me. Also, with not having the professional training, they don't know what to do. How are you going to explain what I need? You're using Tummery and they're talking about my uterus? That is not the same at all. So their language match and not having the vocabulary needed for this setting just shows how unprofessional they were. I was really offended. This just felt like discrimination. I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's, and to have vocabulary that does not match my language skills was very offensive. When I'd ask specific questions, I wasn't getting expansion, they weren't voicing for me correctly. My husband was with me, and he had to inform me of this. I had no idea myself. So my second impact was the same interpreter. So I was still pregnant with Malika. And once again, the interpreter was not matching my language. And I was really getting sick of it. The word choices they were using were just not compatible, and I was done with this discrimination. So they were using specific words, specific concepts that I wanted, and the interpreter just was not giving them to me. They were almost withdrawn. I wanted to take them out, and I wanted a new interpreter. I was sick of it. He didn't really represent me as a deaf, educated female of color. So that was my experience before. And now I'm going to go into my experience after with interpreters. So I think all of you have watched the SNL skit. Just a little bit of the clip before I came in, and I did see you guys seeing that. So I'm curious, who has seen the whole performance? Anyone? No? Okay. That's fine. Do you guys know who Kerry Washington is? Oh, I really love her as an actress. I could watch her all day. So NPR, have you guys seen that and been following that? The article I sent to you guys earlier. So they had no women of color actresses. They really have no black women of color on for SNL. They have every once in a while a host, but no one that is stable in there continuously. So do you guys know who Kenan Thompson is? Bigger black guy, he's an actor. He plays many different roles. Sometimes it's women, sometimes it's men. It's always the same for me. It's really boring. So, Kenan was asked about having black women. He said that none of them were really ready. He didn't feel that their lives and their comedy and experience, they just weren't ready for the big times. So, what do you guys think? When you hear they're not ready, what do you guys think? Do you guys have opinions about that? What's your personal feeling? Do you understand that concept, those comments? Do you think it's appropriate? Or do you think they're just brushing over the top?
Wait till someone watches you, Vanessa.
I have not seen the audition, so I guess I can't really decide if they are ready or not. I don't know what happened in that room. Are there even a lot of black people that are going and wanting to and are intrigued in this setting, or? So I don't know. I've heard of other places, Spring Green, for Shakespeare. And they say they have many women that apply. A lot of white women that sign up. But most actors that are chosen are men. So if you're a woman that signs up, doesn't mean that you always get picked unless you are fantastic. So it's interesting to see that perspective. I've seen maybe one black man. Most are men, and limited are women. So who is applying? It's just interesting to me.